have certain tools and technologies, the process and procedure, especially some tools and you got hired. And of course, you cannot learn all the tools. So do you have anything to share about learning more on the new job? Again, tools is one, because that's you see. Process procedure is pretty similar. I can tell you, corporate, the politics is different based on how big company is. Corporate culture is pretty similar because this is definitely the America, right? White driven community, and they culturally all the same. But I think the what type of learning opportunities, and is it like the tools or something else?
Of course. Before I talk about the learning, I just want to remind you that how much you want to learn and how much you want to take advantage of all the resources and opportunities there are is dependent on you. Of course, they exist, but no one has the time or even interest to come and tell you, oh, do this and do that. I think it will be good for you. You have to ask for things and these opportunities yourself sometimes, especially as a new hire, when it is expected that you are learning things. Ask for the documentations, ask people for walkthroughs, ask people and show curiosity about the different tools or work they're doing, especially if there are people you think who will work with you sometimes, or a lot of the work and skills that they have, you think you can have as well. It's a very, very good thing to start off with. First of all, no matter what you do or what experience you have, nothing really teaches you more about your job, especially your job at a certain organization, until you're actually starting to do some work there. Um, it's not just about whether you have tech experience before or not. Once every organization functions differently, everyone's environment and I guess like tech ecosystem is different, you have to treat your every project as a learning opportunity. The more projects you do, the more tasks you get through, the more you are learning. And that is just priceless. Those things you'll not, hands-on work is the only way to learn things and the only way to equip yourself with the knowledge and skills that you will need. Another thing I really suggest doing is be curious about your environment and how things are going. For example, at my work, cloud is very important because, of course, I'm in cloud, it's very important. Understanding how our GitHub and all of our repositories are set up is very important. I've also noticed that some other engineers who are working do work that is very, very closely related to mine. So how do I learn more on the job? Sometimes you should reach out and say, hi, I am very curious about our cloud posture and what security policies we have and what guidelines and documents we have. When you have the chance, can you please send me the links to them, or please give me a walkthrough explaining where our cloud posture standing is? That is a good time to ask for these things because they know you're new and they want to teach you. And also you're showing that you are asking for all the right information. Sometimes when you're asking for these kinds of questions and the kind of questions you ask also shows people how capable or on the right track you are. When you ask that, oh, I want to know more about our cloud posture, they're like, okay, that's a good question this person is asking. That is something that's worth knowing. When you're working with people who you see that who you know are working on things very closely related to yours, reach out to them sometimes and say, hey, I noticed that you and I have a lot of similar responsibilities. You're working on this project. If there's ever a chance, can I join you on a call and you kind of give me a quick rundown of what kind of work you're doing? You take those chances and understand that what tech skills do they have, what kind of project do they do, and because that means in the future you'll do those kinds of work. If they're doing a lot of Terraform works, and this is I'm talking about someone you know, they're holding a similar role as you or they do similar work as you. Oh, you see they're always doing Terraform work? It is very likely that soon you'll have Terraform work as well. Oh, they have to have a very strong understanding of GitHub workflows. Very likely that you will have to have understanding of GitHub workflows. Oh, they have to really understand Kubernetes and automating things. Oh, very likely you will have to do that as well. So watch out for the kind of employees around you who are probably doing similar work. Have a good rapport with them, build a good relationship with them, and sometimes ask them, especially in your first a few months when you're learning on the job, because that's when people are more willing to teach you. If you're I mean, they're always willing to teach you, but that's a good time to like start building your foundation. Ask them, hey, very interested in the kind of work you're doing. That's you showing curiosity. Then you said, if you ever have a time, can you like give me a walkthrough or a rundown of the kind of work you do? I'm just so curious to learn. It looks very interesting what you're doing. You're validating their work experience, and you're also creating an opportunity for you to learn. And also, there's tons of resources and learning sites that your company finances for you. Ask about them. There's also plenty of documentation, and some companies don't even document properly, but there are still policies and standards that everyone should, for every work flow that people should follow. Maybe they're not going to bring it up to you because, again, everyone's busy. You have to be like, by the way, do we have documentations on this? Or what documents are there for new hires, especially for in my role? Can you please direct them to me, because I'm really curious to learn everything before I get started. In those few months in the beginning, this way you're showing curiosity and your drive, and how much control you take or how much charge you take to learn. And also, the learning is important. It's not just you faking, oh, I'm a curious person. This is advice you should follow, because 6 months will fly by and suddenly you're being given all this intense work. You're no longer treated like a new hire. You're no longer a baby. People are not going to have that patience with you. People want to see work. And you cannot do the work if you do not have the foundational understanding of how your company works, how your cloud works, what the standards and policies are. So take advantage of your learning on the job, especially in the first 3 to 6 months, because no matter how much Terraform you know, how much Python you know, you cannot proceed if you do not even know what the environment is like. Take time in understanding the environment. Ask others. It helps you prepare ahead of time what kind of work you'll probably do. Ask for any and every resource that exists. You are entitled to it, but sometimes you have to ask for yourself. No one will come and tell you this exists, that exists, you should learn. You have to be your own advocate.
Thank you. I think very